Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode, I think it's 27 of Scrollers Chat.
Yes.
I have lost track. But anywho, tonight we have on the panel Charles Daring, Donna Presley, Jamie Page, and Wesley Falco. I'm going to let them introduce themselves one by one and tell them where they can find you guys through your websites and whatnot. And we'll start with Charles.
Alrighty then, I am.
You might want to turn it up. There you go.
Forgive me, when the camera's off, I'm beating my face. I'm Charles Daring. You can't find me in many places now. Sorry about that. Instagram, the Charles Daring. Facebook, the Charles Daring. YouTube, Charles Daring Scroll. Or just Charles Daring. You should be able to find me. And if I don't freak out and have too many more panic attacks, I will be in Iowa August 2nd and 3rd. I think it's August 2nd and 3rd. Somewhere in there. Dubuque, Iowa. Wes probably has more details than I do. I've been up and down for those that have been following social media. First it was about money, now it's about anxiety, but I'm hoping people don't mind freak out. And I will be riding with Wesley Falco, who's also on the panel here. Thank you for having me, lady. By the way, I'll explain later why I stopped selling pannels. If Lee will allow it, and Lee, I think the camera stayed on you, if that matters to you.
I clicked on you, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it should be back in now, but I clicked on you, so. It
You're all right, Lee. Much glad.
Maybe one of them can tell us over in the chat if they saw you or me. Because I clicked on you.
No, I did see Charles.
All right, good. All right, moving on. Donna, you're next.
Hey everybody, Donna Presley, Donna's Woodnard, doing good, staying home, find me on Facebook. Eventually I'll get a YouTube thing going again. Thanks for having me, Lee. Just trying to get caught up.
Thanks, Donna. All right, Jamie.
Right, here we go. I've done this so many times, I should be able to do it again. Right, I am Jamie. My YouTube channel is JB Woodwork. Twitter and Instagram, JB_Woodwork. I'm one sick for the Magazine International podcast. Websites are jb-woodwork.com and magazineinternationalpodcast.com. I can be found at all them places. I'll be at Maggie Central next year at the NEC in Birmingham, UK, May 11th and 12th, which is here. You can find my name in this magazine from last year under Scroll Saw Master. So just want to point that out to everyone. So yeah, I'm kind of a big deal when it comes to Scroll Saw.
I like it.
I can't go into more detail why that was so funny.
All right, last but certainly not least, Wesley Falco.
Hello, everybody. Coming to you from Alvin, Texas, out here, the great big tiny town. You can find me on Facebook under the Scroll Saw Cafe, and I, lo and behold, am broadening my horizon. So I have recently joined Instagram under the Scroll Saw Cafe there as well, and we are working on getting a YouTube channel set up at this time that will be Scroll Saw Cafe as well. So keep it short and simple. I'm not near as important as Jamie, so we'll move along.
I also want to point out I use Pegasus blades, which I get from bearwoodsupplies.com.
Yes, still using the Pegasus blades. They play hard over here at my house.
Oh, by the way, just to throw it out there, this is not necessarily a secret, but those that don't know, that preferred Flying Dutchman over Pegasus, you may have heard Bearwood Supply Company is selling Niqua blades. That is where Flying Dutchmen get their blades from. They just changed the name when it got to the U.S. So, you know, I think I'm 99% sure Wes backed me up on this because I've slept But Aqua blades through bare wood is cheaper than Flying Dutchman through Wooden Teddy Bear or Mike'sWorkshop.com.
Yes, pricing is just a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit less, and
That's all I can tell you right now. I haven't used the Nequa yet, so
well, I
hopefully
use
at Iowa show I'm going to tinker with them a little bit, do some reviews with them maybe. See
Yeah,
how they react.
there again, and I can only speak for me, and maybe Jamie can chime in on this, and well, actually everybody here. I used Flying Dutchman for years. When I tried Pegasus, I didn't dislike Flying Dutchman because I'd been with them for so long. I liked the fact that they had flat ends for the spirals. Now, Pegasus is known more for how sharp their spirals are, therefore lasting longer if you're careful with them. But the only thing I didn't like about them was that the spirals weren't flat ended. So that was working best for me. But Nequa is Flying Dutchman. Actually, Flying Dutchman is Nequa. In other words, yeah, if you're looking for a better price, no matter how much you save, Nequa is the brand. And I'm glad I have a choice between the two. I like both of them for different reasons. Anyway, back to you, whoever's talking, Wes or Lee.
I'll let them take the show up.
All right, you guys, keep talking, guys. I'm trying to get Alan here. He's late as usual. All right.
Charles wants to know if you're back to Flying Dutchman blades.
I never fully left them because I like the flat end, but I haven't stopped using Pegasus either. It depends on the workload I have and if I'm stack cutting, this and that, because Pegasus is sharper. But Nequa has the flat ends, and they, you know.
I think it would definitely come in handy if Pegasus did a flat end blade. The reason I say that is I've often found that the clamps often they end up wearing away on the actual blade clamps themselves. So when you put it in, turn it in with the thumb screw on the clamps that I use, the metal actually grinds away. They have to turn it in a little bit more every now and again to make it actually grip, because where the twisty end actually from the actual blade, it's actually grinding the clamp away. You know, obviously, so if it's a flat end, it's exactly the same as a straight blade. So there's no wear and tear on the actual clamp.
Yeah, and that could also make make a difference on the saw as well, the brand saw, because some clamps are better than others.
That is the problem I experienced here with this Pegasus clamp. Was what I originally thought was where I cut my finger off, having trouble with that. It turned out to be my thumb screw had this beautiful little egg-shaped cut through it from where I'm using those, and just over time, the amount of use that I put on this saw was actually grinding the set screw down.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. When I start,
got that set screw buff back out. Now I'm back to normal.
Well, when I started experiencing that, you experienced that on the Seiko as well. But the set screw is a little bitty. The screw itself is hollow, but there's a little plunger-looking thing in the end of it, and then on the other side you have the piece that stops the. Which one's the set screw? The little stationary piece, or the one you screw and unscrew?
Yeah, when I say the set screw, I'm talking the stationary, unless I'm just running my mouth so fast I can't think about it. But
yeah, one of those.
I try to call it the thumb screw and the actual set screw.
Everybody's saying your volume's a little low. Not Alvin. You're in Alvin. Wes. If he's not able to get his up, Lee, the control room should have a volume for Wes.
I turned him up.
How's that a little bit?
That's better.
That's right, nice. Another thing to note, you talk about the set screw that the thumb screw tightens up against. Usually what I'll do is I'll sandpaper the end. I'll sand the end of the thumb screw and the set screw. That way, if it was worn a little bit of a groove in it, you're starting kind of fresh.
Right, and that's what I did on this. Took both of them out and buffed them both with. I started with 50 grit, and then I polished it back off with 100 grit just to get that actual cut out of it, so they are completely flat again. And it didn't take much. I mean, we're talking like millimeters that you're taking down. So I mean, every time you do that, of course, you're grinding that metal away. So eventually, with enough time, you'll have to replace the set screw and the thumb screw.
Yeah, it'll last a little bit longer if when you're sanding or grinding it, you do it completely flat. Because if you do it at an angle, then it's not. Well, one could be flat, and the other one's at an angle. You're not going to pinch the blade. So try it back to
I don't know if I can get my camera down in here since I am sitting in front. Let's see. This is your stationary screw, and then you got the thumb screw.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just back them both out. I lay that sandpaper flat on my table, and I just kind of back and forth scuffle until I can see that groove was completely gone.
Yeah, not every set screw has that nut around it. That's the way of tightening it in place.
Right. Every set screw is going to be a little bit different. I mean, but
Yeah.
potentially you're going to have one on each side, as long as you've got a little bit of roughness to that. And I've got, up until just recently, I have never sandpapered the end of any blade. I just clamp it and go, and if they start slipping, I just hunker down a little bit tighter. But I've got to where straight out of the package, I'm just kind of, I've got a piece of folded sandpaper here, and I just run that through about 2 or 3 times, and very little slippage I'm getting out of them now.
Yeah, I've heard.
I don't flatten the ends on those Pegasus spirals either. I mean, I'm clamping them in there with them completely spiral.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not necessarily mandatory. I just been using flat ends for so long, that's why it's a preference. But it does work without untwisting.
If I get them clamped in there when I'm first setting that up, I'll put my top clamp together first, and then I'll go down and tighten my bottom clamp and release my top clamp. And you'll see that blade kind of spin a little bit with that spiral.
Yeah.
And it does that. I'll tighten that bottom screw just a little bit more. And then I come back to my top screw and I tighten that. And you can actually see that blade kind of flatten out. And I'll just work that 2 or 3 times and find that flat spot. And that has helped a lot as well.
Yeah, and Katie Dodson is pointing out that the set screw should not be very pricey. So
No, you can actually buy like a pack of thumb screws as well, not just the set screws on eBay. Like a pack of 5 are just a couple of cents.
very nice.
So,
Oh, and a lot of people think, it's because of the oil that gets shipped, or when metal things get shipped, there's a cut of oil on them. A lot of people are talking about cleaning off the ends of the blades. I've never had to do that, but I think unless you're using a brand new saw and they're slipping out, then you could probably use alcohol or sandpaper for the ends of the blades. But 9 times out of 10, it's the set screw or the thumb screw. One of them are worn or both. Anyway, back to you. Okay. Anybody want to talk?
Thanks, Charles.
I tend to take over to the whole panel leave.
That's fine. We know that.
It's never intentional. Can you just run an emery board in the clamp assembly? If you can fit it, I don't see why you couldn't. That's Chris Nealon from Niantic River, by the way. And Jim Brashears is out there, Ron Norris, Dave Hart, Katie Dodson, and Pablo something was out there earlier, and I can't find anybody. Pablo Astudio.
I saw Ron Norris out there too. Evening, Ron.
He's a chat now. Jim Brashears, Joe just recently. Yeah, I don't
Click.
Yeah, I don't.
Just for you.
Yeah, just for you. I don't see why an emery board wouldn't work if you can get it in the clamp. I mean, some clamps are too narrow to get them in, but yeah, back to y'all. I'm trying not to take over.
All right. Are you good now, Charles?
Yeah.
All right.
When I stop talking, take your chance because I might just start up again.
You might start up again.
It's never intentional.
Yes.
It just keeps happening. I suck. Go ahead.
All right. So basically, on our agenda for tonight, we wanted to talk about the Midwest Trade Show, which Charles mentioned, and he'll be attending, and Wesley will be attending with Bearwoods. I will be attending as well, but I'll be in my own booth and selling my patterns, as well as I'll be part of PS Wood Machine's booth because they currently sell my patterns too. So I'll be part of Barbara's booth as well and helping her out for the weekend. So you guys want to, if you haven't already signed up for anything for the expo, or the picnic, we're saying to take a look at it. I'm going to show you the website, and you guys can get an idea of the dates and all of that. Give me 1 second while I pull up the website.
MidwestTradeShow.com, unless you're talking about a different show.
Nope, it's MidwestTradeShow.com. Thanks, Charles.
No problem.
Now it just needs to load. Really?
And
It's
for
like it
those
knows I'm
that don't know, I think this is being run by Karen Bowman and somebody else. Karen Bowman is the wife of Dirk Bowman, who passed not too terribly long ago. Very well-known designer.
Right. All right. So it's the website. I have it up now, so let me screen share. Screen share. Look on me. All right. We good now? Everyone can see it?
Yes.
All right. MidwestTradeShow.com, as Charles said. Here's the information for the show. It will be August 3rd and 4th in the Dubuque County Fairgrounds in Dubuque, Iowa. It is actually the same place in the fair. It's in the same fairgrounds as they had at last year's, but it's in a different building this year. So it's still the same place. It's just a different building on the property. The Midwest Trade Show will take place Friday, August 3rd from 9 a.m. till 5, and Saturday, August 4th from 9 a.m. till 3:30. I'm trying to read down here. The event will be held at the Dubuque County Fairgrounds, 14569 Old Highway Road in Dubuque. The show will be hosted by the Veterans Freedom Center in Dubuque and Karen Bowman of the Art Factory. And there will be a dinner, which will be, I believe it's Friday. Yeah, Friday evening dinner. And trying to see if they have a. This is the class list. So we'll click on that.
If you miss anything he's saying, just remember with MidwestTradeShow.com.
Yep, that's the website.
There
So
are
right
two
here-
T's in there.
These are the class descriptions and schedules. For Friday, August 3rd, it's the first one in the morning is Scroll Saw Basics and Fundamentals and Troubleshooting from 10 to 11:30. 10 to 11:30 is Cutting Live Edges with Peg. Hey, look, Peg. I know her. And let's see, Friday, 10 a.m. till noon, Basics of Spindle Turning, presented by Wendell Anthony. Friday, 12 noon to 1:30 is Intarsia Fundamentals, presented by, and the artist that will be giving that class is Don Lorenz. And Friday, noon to 3 o'clock, Introduction to Wood Burning, presented by Michelle Parsons. Friday, 2:30 to 4 o'clock, Chip Carving, presented by Rick Bartels. Friday, 2:30 to 4 o'clock, Selling Your Work, presented by Matt Gatchell. And then we go to Saturday, 9:30 to 1, 11, or, yeah, 9:30 to 1, no, 9:30 to 11:30. AM Assembly Techniques, presented by Matt Gatchell. Saturday, Scroll Basics from 10 to 11:30, presented by Dave Kettnan. Sorry, Dave. 10 a.m. till noon, Basics of Bowl Training, presented by Lyndall Anthony. Saturday, noon to 1:30 is Intarsia Fundamentals. That'll be presented again by Don Lorenz. It doesn't list the teacher on here, but Don is the one that's teaching it. I've confirmed that. So it is Don. And Saturday, noon till 3 o'clock is using wood burning on your scroll work, presented by Michelle Parsons. Saturday, 12:30 to 2 o'clock, Let's Be Creative, presented by Rick Bartels. That is your class list.
Lee, I don't mean to tell you your business, but since you might be worried about time, once you give them the website, with all due respect, there's no reason to read it to them because they'll be able to see it there.
Right. I just wanted to do this real quick because I wanted to show them who's coming. So I just want to give them a brief rundown. PS Wood Machines will be there. Art Factory will be there. Seiko will be there. It's not going to be. Help me out here, Charles.
What?
Not going to be the guy that runs Seiko. It's going to be their
a couple of employees. Ray
won't be there. Yeah.
Ray won't be able to make it. But Joe, which is his sidekick, which goes to pretty much every show with him, and also works there at the shop with a guy named Kim. He will be there with a guy named Patrick, I believe.
I won't be there.
Parsons Wood Artistry, Peterson Custom Lumber, RJR Studios, Bearwoods Company, along with Steve Good and Charles Daring and Wesley Balco. I don't know who that guy is.
You know who's out there?
I don't know who any of them are. Charles, I don't know. Hawk Woodworking Tools will be there. And then I will have a booth there. In my booth is Wooden Wonders Workshop. They just haven't put it on there. And I'll be selling my new pattern CDs as well as some patterns. So I will be on there soon. I just haven't sent my thing in yet. So that's the Midwest Trade Show. That's all the information for that one.
What about the newbies from Florida?
While I have this open, I'm going to show you guys on my website, personal website.
The newbie from Florida. That's funny right there, too.
All right, this is my personal website, which is woodenwonderworkshop.com/wixsite.com/home. Just come here. On my website, I have my pattern CDs for sale. Go to that page. And I just added this one today. This pattern CD has 72 cars. That's all the cars that I've made. It has for $32. So roughly, if you break that down, it comes out to about 44 cents. And a little less than 44 cents per pattern. So I know it's $32. And you think that's a lot, but there's 72 patterns on that CD. So it comes out to 42 cents. The one down here is the 3 vehicles in Tarsia. You get the 3 on the cover, the pumper, the car, and the patriotic semi. It also has the instructions where to raise and lower, wood suggestions, all that. And then the one on the bottom is the police cars one. There are 7 patterns on that. Yeah, there's 6 on the cover, and then the one that's not on the cover is a Lamborghini. That's a Polizzi, or one, a French Lamborghini looking car. That one, or an Italian one, whatever it is. But it's a Lamborghini that says Polizzi on the side of it. It just didn't fit on the cover. But that's the other one that's there. If you guys click on these, for instance, this one, it'll take you here. And if you come up here to the top, you can do a rotate case, and it'll show you everything that's in it right now. So if you walk through here, you can see there's just some of the ones I'm not going to go through this whole list with you, but there's a 55 Thunderbird, a 70 Challenger, various Chargers. There's a 70 Charger, 71 Charger, Plymouth Roadrunner. There's a Viper, 77 Z28 Camaro, 2004 Thunderbird, 63 split window Corvette, 57 Corvette, Bel Air, 56 Bel Air, 55 Bel Air, There's a 55 two-door Bel Air hardtop. There's an S10 pickup truck, Chevelle, 66 Dodge Charger. There's a GTO. Yeah, so I mean, if you come here to the website, guys can look for yourself. But there's some Mustangs on here. All the police cars are on here. So it's every one of my cars up to date that's on here. That's on the CD. So that's for you guys to check out. You can use PayPal to buy it if you wish. All you gotta do is put up here. It'll let you choose how many you want and where you want to ship it to. This ships to all over the world. Any country you see on here, they can ship to you. It's not just for the United States. So if anyone overseas is interested, you guys can get it. I just sent one off to my friend. I think he was in the Netherlands. So he just got it like today or yesterday. So they will ship it wherever you guys are. Just choose your place up here and they'll send it to you. All right. So that's that. I'm going to shut down my share screen. Stop.
What's out of curiosity, what's the shipping for international? What's the chances of customs charges?
I don't know. I'd have to go on there and actually put it in. If you want to check that out, you can. It's when you put in where you want to ship it to, and you hit next, it'll calculate the shipping out for you.
Right. Okay.
It'll let you know before you even purchase it what it is.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's that one, and then I wanted to have Misty on here tonight, the president of SAW, but she's not able to be on here tonight. But I wanted to let you guys know there is a SAW EXPO. It'll be in 2020. The exact dates for that will be. Hang on, give me 1 second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves for just a second while I open this.
Howdy do.
All right, I got.
Weather's been nice today.
All
right.
Heck here. Anyway. Back to you, buddy.
Directed. Thank you. All right, so the dates for the SAW EXPO are the June 12th and 13th, 2020. It'll be here in Ohio. It'll be up near Cuyahoga Falls, and it'll be at the Aminos Expo Center. We are still putting the details together of the classes and what's going to be going on with that, but still in the planning stages, but we've got the dates locked down. So again, it's going to be here in Ohio at the Aminos Expo Center in Cuyahoga Falls, and it's going to be June 12th and 13th, 2020. So not next year, the year after. We want to give everybody some time to plan for it. So as we add things to it and vendors and whatnot, it'll be up on the SAW website. But right now, like I said, it's still early and we're still planning it. But I wanted to give you guys the dates so you could put it down and plan for it accordingly. And that pretty much covers everything that I had to go over for tonight. What do you guys got? Anything?
Sorry. Real quickly, for those that don't know, I did not stop selling patterns as a tantrum. I stopped selling patterns because, actually, two reasons. Things are getting better financially, and the exclusivity of being able to cut my own designs. Because the less that are out there, the more I can ask for the final product. So it was for good reasons, and at least in my life, as to why I stopped selling. A lot of people were asking, so I figured if I said it in one place, I'd help. Yes, things are getting better, so I just chose to go a different direction. Thank you. Anyway.
I'm preparing myself to hate Charles for a couple of weeks because I'm going to be doing some of his patterns.
It's an on again, off again relationship. Well, Wes is hating relationship.
It sounds like if he's going to quit selling them, eventually they'll be worth some money. So I'm
Electors,
going to on to the ones that I have here, and I may put them on eBay.
So you may have to start looking for stolenvisions.com.
Stolen visions.
Well, if you're interested, if you still want to get a scroll-on hat or T-shirt, by God, Wooden Visions is good for that.
Yeah, I might have to release a website, Smell My Finger.
Yep.
With
I don't know how many
face,
shows
with your face on it, Charles.
Yeah, I don't know how many shows at the end of it, right when I went to say scroll on, you say smell my finger. It totally messed up my mojo. I do miss doing a show, but I just couldn't dream up stuff anymore. Wes, Dennis Goodson is saying hello.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, good question. And that brings me to another point. I am still selling patterns through fairwood.com. They won't be all of them, but some of my newer ones are there that weren't available on my website, and I will be adding more and taking some down. It depends on which ones I want to be exclusive on. That the amount of patterns they have of mine will grow, but it'll never be all of them because of copyright issues, which I was sort of lax on my own website. I don't want to say like I was blatantly didn't care, but I was just doing things as a fan of it, and I needed to be more careful, so I nipped that in the butt. And that was right around.
Jim.
That was right. What?
Jim Brashear said, I promise not to have any grandkids born while I'm talking to Steve Good this time, Lee.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Jim in Atlanta. I met Steve Good in Atlanta, and I met him in Atlanta. I got to see him again in Houston, along with Wesley Bucko. That's when me and him. Wait, we met in Houston, right, Wes? We hadn't met before that.
We had done a few video chats and message interaction, but Houston was the first time we met in person.
Yeah, I'm laughing because of Rick out in the chat. Rick Hutchison, good to see you, buddy. He said, Charles, you just jabber on even if you don't have a topic. I think he's referring to why I stopped doing my show. But I resemble that remark.
Hey, Rick, you're supposed to be on the panel, man.
You can't have the whole panel be the audience.
Donna, did you notice that Charles forgot to mention that he met you and I in Atlanta as well?
I wasn't done. I interrupted myself. I'm sorry. No, I've said many a time. The two, Donna was the best one at helping me when I was having anxiety attacks. But Jamie was one of the last people I saw before I left. He got to see me cry. That was a proud moment.
Yeah. It's good for me because I couldn't stop laughing.
No, both of those moments meant a lot to me. Getting to meet all these people meant a lot to me. And getting to meet Rick, I don't know if that's good or bad yet until I meet him. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Hutchison.
Yes, Rick is in the room.
Rick, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you?
Well,
Yes, he's muted, Rick.
I got to get the other thing shut off here. Figure out where I'm at.
You muted yourself. There you go.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about, Jim. You had to bail on the show because you had the grandkids. Now I know what you're talking about.
Charlie, how are you getting up to the show?
Riding with Mr. Wesley Balco in the green shirt right there. Initially, I was going to fly and then drive a rental car, but money wasn't there to allow as much. And anxiety played a part. And then me and Wes worked it to where we could drive 6 hours at a time. And now the only issue I've been dealing with is anxiety. Seriously, the last 3 days, just the thought of going to Iowa 19 hours from my safety blanket of home has had me freaking out and taking meds and all kinds of crap. It's scaring the crap out of me, but I'm praying I can go. But yes, I'm riding with Mr. Wes Balco there on the...
See, if you're coming up through Kansas City and up 35, you're going to go 3 miles from my house.
Holy monkey. He's in Grimes, Iowa, by the way, Wes.
All right.
Where are you coming up 35 and then across 80?
I don't guess you had it mapped out yet.
Not mapped out
Yes,
yet.
I am.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
We can go by his house, but he has boxes of patterns. If you keep him busy, I'll have a few of them out of there.
Original plan was just to kind of wing this and take a whole week's vacation and just a road trip and enjoy myself. And we'll see how much enjoyment I get with my buddy riding along. But
Oh, see,
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And Katie Dawson is saying, you're brave for taking me with you. Go ahead, Rick.
it's about 3.5 hours from here up to the Dubuque.
Well, a few miles from your house, it's up to what guy I'm riding with, West. Then that'd be cool. That way we can load up his truck with things you want to get rid of and that I cried for, and then we go to the show and everybody's happy.
I'd load you up with wood slabs, but you probably couldn't carry them all.
Dang, nabbit, don't tell me that.
I'm sure he'll find a way.
I'll find a way.
I'd have to,
Yeah, we can rent a trailer. There you go. So anything you want to part with, baby.
I'd have to saw them down thinner. You probably couldn't use 3 and 4 inch thick slabs on the scroll saw very good.
Yeah. You're welcome to part with pattern books, patterns, tools, anything. We'll get it for you all if we have to. I'm saying all this out loud, ain't I? Back to you, Lee.
Thank you, Charles.
You're welcome. Oh, help me, Lord. It's the part where you start talking.
Yeah, I know. But I don't really have anything to talk about. I ran out of topics for the evening. We covered everything.
Oh, what's on everyone's bench?
What's all your
Okay, what's
event
everyone
for
working
song?
on? There you go.
What is everyone working on? I will cover the chat if y'all want to go over.
This is
And we'll
all I
start-
have on the table this evening.
A clock to clean it.
Okay, we'll go left to right since Lee lost his voice. Donna,
Yes.
what you working on right now?
Actually, I'm doing embroidery, making some masks for my granddaughter's birthday right now.
You said that kind of quick, so it came out. I heard something else.
I said I'm working on masks that I'm embroidering for my granddaughter's birthday.
I thought you said you were making some ass. I said, oh, hell no. And see, I can say that because they said on the TV. Sorry, Donna. She's making that mask for her birthday party.
That accounts for all the thread I see there behind her. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wonder what the heck she uses all them spools of thread for.
Yeah, you remember when we used to always see scroll work and stuff on a rack behind her? Now it's all thread.
Yeah, but I made the shelves for them because I needed them off the table because I didn't have room. So I actually have 4 of them across. That's one of the smaller shelves there that I did. So I'm still doing both, and as soon as it cools off, I have things in my shop I need to work on, which is a DVD shelf for my daughter from last year. It's just too hot out there right now for me to work, and I've had too many kids here.
He's in Alabama, folks. She's pretty close to Texas, which is over 100 here lately.
Yeah.
I keep going, and we're going to move on over to Mr. Jamie Page across the pond.
Right, well, I'm actually stuck between 3 projects as to what to do next. I don't know whether to do the Top Gun picture, which obviously Charles designed. Whether to do a what was that dog I just got?
I believe that was the last German Shepherd. Last pattern I
German
designed was that
Shepherd.
Top Gun one.
Yeah, the German Shepherd, which Charles designed, or a mermaid that Charles designed. So it's going to be one of them 3 that I've got to do. So
Mermaid
yeah,
with a
at
turtleneck
some point, I've got to do all 3 of them. But I don't know what one I'm going to start first.
You forgot to mention that the mermaid had a turtleneck on, because we care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny right there. Mr. Rick Hutchison out of Grimes, Iowa. My favorite friend with all those tools and patterns. Just kidding. Never mind. What are you working on, sir? Or you do all kinds of stuff, turning and.
Yeah, I do mostly turning anymore. I've got a ton of wood here to use up. I cut the slabs, and I got a stack out there that's probably 16 foot long and 4 foot high of 4 foot, 5 foot long slabs.
Okay, Wes, we really got to keep his attention for quite a while.
I've got a lot of tools to use on that wood.
Well, I got all the antique scroll saws you can look at. There's over 200 of them.
I'm telling you, go to this guy's place, you'll know what the word "too much money" means. No, but he's also making constantly. He has all kinds of different tools to do different things with, and he doesn't just let them sit there and gather dust. He uses a lot of them, and he makes all kinds of stuff. If I had to guess, though, your passion is in turning.
Right now, yeah, I turn more than what I scroll, but
Really? Yeah.
I still got. I think I counted 8 scroll saws still down here in my shop, but I only use 2 of them most of the time.
Last week we got stuff. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
Okay. Wes, I'm sorry you have to follow that up, but what are you working on?
Well, yep. For the first time in I don't know how long, I have a break from scrolling. I don't have anything going right now. I just finished up my tribute to the Gaulding family. I know I posted finished pictures of that in several of the groups there Tuesday. But if anybody here does not know, Mr. Ross was one of my employees here at ACE that was with us for over 15 years. Passed away last month. And we just, a couple of the high school kids working with us right now were like, man, you got to do something. We've seen some of your work. You should put something together. And I kind of pondered on it for a little bit, and we went to digging around looking for. I was just going to do a portrait originally, and couldn't find a decent enough quality picture there in the office for me to really work with. So I did a little digging around on Facebook, found his personal page, which if I knew he had a Facebook page, I would have been friends with him on there. But the picture that I used for this pattern was actually his profile picture, and that was his. That Harley was his baby. It's been parked for several years, but that was his pride and joy. And they saw that picture, and they gave me a hard time there at first and said, I think you should do that, but I don't think you can do it. So, just kind of getting under my skin, and I just said, I tell you what, I'm going to stump you boys and show y'all that I can't do this. And I kind of blew myself away with that one.
Yeah, that's the drawback to doing somebody that passed away is it sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but you're limited just for the photograph options because you can't request to personalize, especially if you want to quote unquote surprise the family or treat the family or give the gift, whatever the case may be.
See if I can hold this up. This is the original pattern. I don't know if y'all can see all of it there.
Yes, sir.
I've got over 6 hours drawing this motorcycle out. Just on the itself. And then it took me at 8 hours to actually cut the piece.
Lovely.
So, a lot of memories behind that. A few little tears were shed on all of us. I was able, I did a double stack. I wanted to do one for his family and one for us to hang up there in the office. And took them both in there, I guess it was Tuesday. And I contacted his wife. I talked to her Tuesday she actually came into the store yesterday, and I presented it to her then. And lo and behold, there was a few more tears shed. But everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. Like I said, it blew myself away with how it turned out. So,
Definitely, when there's a passion behind it, it adds to it too, and the time it takes doesn't always bother you.
I will add, I am going to take that piece with us to Iowa. Just I was seeing they are having their little contest thing in there, so I'm gonna enter that, see if it really is an award-winning piece. But I mean,
I think
if
you
I
done
weigh
good.
nothing out of that, I mean, I've humbled myself with that piece for one, but just so everybody can see what really is behind scrolling.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, he does a lot of live scrolling on his. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I never do that. I never interrupt you.
It's one of those pieces that really shows there is more to it than just punching a bunch of holes in a piece of wood.
Yeah. And I forgot what my point was. Oh, on his, what you said the name of your group was just Scroll Saw Cafe, because I know Lee has one, something to do with Scroll Saw Cafe. So I mean, they can go to both, obviously, but you have just Scroll Saw Cafe.
Scroll Saw Cafe.
So it's not the Scroll Saw, it's just Scroll Saw Cafe.
I think if you search in Facebook, you'll find me.
His is Scroll Saw Cafe, or mine's Scroll Saw Pattern Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, for those that are interested, Wes is almost always doing live videos of him scrolling. If you're interested in learning, asking questions, can't always see questions as he's scrolling, but sometimes he can. And that's him. But Mr. Lee Knighton, would you like to participate in your show?
Wait, what? Haven't I been participating this whole time?
I'm just kidding. What you working on, babe?
Actually, right now, as I told you guys earlier, I got a lot of stuff going on with these CDs. I'm trying to get them up on the website. If you guys have a suggestion for a CD you want to see, I have a few up there. But if there's one that you guys really want to see, like, you want a summer one that's got, like, roller coasters or something on it, hit me up in the chat right now and tell me what suggestions you guys got, because I can customize these for you guys. That way they won't all be cars, or they won't, or if there's a certain car you want, I can make, certain cars, if you just want Camaros, or if you just want Mustangs, so on and so forth. So hit me up and let me know what kind of CDs you guys want to see, and I can add them up to the website.
All right. I'll let you take over again.
All right. I'm checking out the chat real quick. See if we got any final questions over there.
It was mainly you talking, no offense. Yeah, there's questions that I see that we didn't cover already.
What, Jim? What is it? What is a scrolly greasy spoon?
A greasy
Sure
spoon.
said mine is a scroll saw and a greasy spoon.
A greasy spoon is basically what we call in the UK a greasy spoon cafe. Is like a full English breakfast, like egg, bacon, sausage, beans, tomatoes. It's like a workman's, like a construction site's cafe.
And tomatoes or tomatoes for those that don't understand British. Yeah. Miters, taters, miters and taters. I tell you what.
It's a cafe for builders.
Gotcha. All right. Well, doesn't seem that there's any questions over there. And I love the Waffle House. Hey, I agree with you on the Waffle House, Jim. All right, guys. Well, I think we got everything done tonight. Show is supposed to go about 9:30, so we have about 5 more minutes. So if there's anything anybody has to ask us, on the chat, or if anybody on the panel has anything else before we sign off, let me know. And then if not, we'll end it because I think we covered everything for tonight.
I love you all.
I love you too, Charles.
I'm quiet. Not in public. Oh my gosh.
I love you, Charles, but not like that.
Charles, I tolerate you.
I
He's
told her
tolerant.
that
I like that.
I'm about to have enough money to start my How to Speak French. Or English, sorry.
English.
I tried.
Jeff Robinson said Wesley did a great job on the moral pattern.
Dennis Goodson said, will anyone be videoing the show?
We'll probably do
I'm
live
trying.
feeds from there. I'm sure Lee's gonna videotape. I'll let him answer for him, but I may be. But I know Bearwoods in general, me, Wes, Steve Good, and Stephen and Annalise will probably be doing live feeds from Facebook. But as far as actual videos, that remains to be seen. But that's just me answering for me. So y'all go ahead, but.
We'll try to have some live feeds going from my end too. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a show of some kind up there. Either be a live video, maybe a show. We'll see what happens, time constraint wise. But I don't know what the Wi-Fi looks like up there too, so that's always a problem.
That'll be my leading factor in all this too.
But if not, there will definitely be something about it, picture wise or story wise, and either Sawdust or Scroller's Choice coming up.
Jeff Robinson and Mark Schaefer haven't been here that long, so we have to start over, Lee. And Dave Hart says, Wesley, thank you for posting on Tri-County Rollers Facebook page. And you met Jeff Robinson in Houston, Wes. He's the one that did the diamond plate thing. Okay.
Yes.
And Mark Schaefer will be in the Iowa show, at the Iowa show. So he's bringing live edge to the show. Hang on.
Nice. All right, Mark. Well, we'll see you in Iowa. For sure.
I guess I could add, going back to current projects. Since Sunday, I've had 7 pattern requests come in. So that, right now, I mean, the break I've had in the cutting actually worked out perfect. So, I mean, I've got 7 patterns to design. So
well, that's a good thing.
These right now, but I mean, for me, sitting down in the living room floor with TV playing my classical, beautiful music, drawing all night, it's absolutely nothing at all.
Well, I'm proud to see you expanding your horizons. I mean, you do live things. You started making your own patterns, and you don't look like a beginner at doing it. So I'm just happy to see all these things opening up for you.
Well, I've always done the custom patterns. When I first started that, it was mainly company logos for just local people here and there. But I never really have focused on that. I mean, I draw the pattern up, I cut it, and I go from there. But as far as like the motorcycle here and actually doing portraits or I mean, like my Dance with Wolves sitting back here, that was the first one I've actually done for myself.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Wes saw that picture, and we both decided to do a version of it.
I was very pleased with how that one came out. And like I said, I've done it here and there. I've never really done a whole lot of entailed patterns. So to sit down and actually draw one up that was, I mean, within, identical twins have 2 different thumbprints. It's kind of how these 2 pieces turned out between Charles and I.
Yeah,
so
close.
Yeah.
Me and Lee have used the same source photos before. I've done a couple patterns that I don't know if anybody's ever seen. I'm sorry, I've been in a butthole.
What else is new?
I love you too. And that was the day Lee stopped doing your show. Oh, Ron Buchanan has joined us. We got to start over again because Ron Buchanan just joined us. And
Maybe we'll just start at 9:30 from now on. That seems to be when everybody drops in.
start another show. Go to dictionary.com and read through the whole thing. Just kidding. Hello. It's you, baby. Wait.
What?
We're on the
What?
air.
If anybody has a 24 by 36 inch frame, I still need to get this thing finished out. It's just sitting back over here in the corner.
Sound like you said 24 by 36
Still don't
inch frame.
have this thing backed.
That's
and,
freaking cool.
I mean,
That's awesome.
this is the biggest piece I personally have ever designed and cut.
You make me so proud. Are you selling that pattern, sir? Anybody asking to buy any of your patterns, or are you selling them?
The only patterns I really sell are custom designs. I like you and Lee there. Y'all actually have a pattern catalog. All that I have done, it's been custom for somebody.
Well, I mean, like the dances with the wolves. If anybody wanted that pattern, would you sell it though? No pressure.
Just based on copyright issues, no.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
For me, that was a one and done. I don't plan on making any money off of that. Kevin Costner is one of my favorite actors, and I've been wanting to do something with Dance with Wolves and even the Hatfield and McCoy's theme just to hang on my wall. As far as size, I went a little overboard with this, but
Well, I'm glad you brought up the copyright thing because I was guilty of not really thinking, and I never didn't care, but stuff like movie stars and stuff, I wasn't as careful with. So it's admirable that you're willing to not give that out because of that. But yeah, I think I let the dollar guide me too many times. And anyway, back to you.
Yeah, like I was saying there, as far as hanging on my wall, I went a little overboard with the size, but what I had behind that was pushing myself to a new limit there with that. And like I said, I never cut anything up until I bought this 20-inch D-wall. I had only used a 16-inch. So using flat blades, I was limited to a 16-inch piece, no matter what.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to cut large things. I don't know how you can even begin to do that. Anybody that doesn't know, that's a total joke because that's all I do, and so I'm making fun of myself. Back to you, Wes, or Lee, if you want to actually run the show. I'm just,
It is a little bit of a chore to work with a piece that size.
I think,
especially the first time you just dive in and you've never seen anybody at how they do it, which is another reason I do the live videos. You know, if I don't consider myself a teacher, but I somehow picked up the nickname Coach, which that works for me. If you learn something from what I'm doing, I hope it's good because I've done a few stupid things on live video, like the lost finger just recently, but I did lose a good chunk of it, but I got all the feeling back for the most part, but it's looking, for 8 weeks, I'm very pleased with how that looks. I did not leave that video up on Facebook just for my own stupidity reason. I didn't need that floating around.
They just wanted a Roman OG.
I had been saying for a couple of weeks before that happened that I have made it 9 years steady and not had any accidents with my tools. So I knew it was coming. Eventually, I was going to get it, and I just got lazy. My tripod's lazy.
So is your tripod haunted?
My tripod is kind of haunted. It's doing things.
So did you cut yourself on the scroll saw then?
No, I was running a router bit, and I had spent about 2.5 hours building jigs to put the picture frame together for the running antelope piece that we gave away. And instead of just shutting down and taking a break after I'd got tired and hot, and one of the main reasons I don't do live videos when I am running a router and things of that nature, I was tired and I got in a hurry, and I decided that since I'd had several people ask me how I finish, how I make my frames, that, oh, what the heck, I'll just go ahead and do a live video real quick, show them what's going on. And I believe it was 3 minutes into the video, I got in a hurry. I let the board jump off my router, I think 2 or 3 times. And instead of just shutting down and building another jig to hold my piece down, I get this bright idea that, oh, I can hold this thing down with 2 fingers and I'll be fine.
And then you were down to 1.
I'm running this handheld router, cutting a 1/2-inch rabbit on a 1x2 piece of maple. And it went great, real great. Like I said, it jumped twice, and I just grabbed a hold of it and said the heck with it. And I let that router bump up against my finger, and I was using my finger for a guide.
There's your first mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, 3's a charm.
Well, how'd you get the rabbit to stop screaming?
That thing kicked. Get off of my tripod, please. That thing kicked that 3rd time, and it jerked, and it spun around on me. And when it came back, it clipped the edge of that board and just walked right over the side of my finger.
And that tickled.
I mean, luckily it was a brand new bit, so I wasn't worried about that. I mean, and it came across so fast, I did not feel it cut me, but I knew the router hit me. So here I am, ready to still keep going, and I thought, you better look at that because I know it hit me. And I mean, still at this point, it hadn't started bleeding, but until I looked at it. And then when you look at it, it's like, oh no. Shut it down. Get rid of that video real quick. And I tell people, if you don't feel safe running your tool, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
If you are scared of your tool, you need to unplug it and give it away, sell it, whatever. You cannot be scared of a power tool, or you're going to get yourself hurt.
Well, they say be scared because it makes you
I'm not scared of it now. I have always had a respect for my tool, and I've pushed myself to the limit of what I know I can safely do versus a time frame to do it in. And that's what got me. I was tired. I was, the heck with this. I want to finish this project tonight. I got in a hurry, and it bit me.
Real quickly to keep up with the chat, and ironically, the only injury I've ever had in the shop was with a router. I was clueless too, and I was dusting off the router table because I was so used to the sound of it that I didn't compute that it was on, so I dusted right into it. Real quickly to jump to the chat, Eddie Dodson said, "Hold my beer and watch this." Ron Buchanan said, "So exactly how do you get blood out of wood?" And
You don't.
Brian Gidney of Summers Woodworking has joined us. I believe his website is summerswoodworking.co, unless you want to correct me on that. And Lee had to step away for a moment, so I'm supposed to babble, which I'm not real good at. I'm kidding. Rick knows better. Actually, most people here. Donnie Jones says, "Charles, are you demonstrating Saturday at the show?" I have no idea what they'll have me doing, Danny, but I don't know what I'll be doing. But if I can demonstrate something, I'll do my darndest. Ron Buchanan really is wearing a scroll-on, or scrolling with Charlie t-shirt, or scroll-on. He's wearing the pictorial version of me doing this. But I also have just the text if y'all are interested, woodbusiness.com. I don't know yet, Danny. I don't know what exactly who's doing what, because I've slept since then, so I'll have to go look. And good to see you again, Brian Gidney. It's been a long time. And you too, Ron. Yes, I had three or four people buy scroll-on t-shirts, and one person bought a scroll-on cap, of which I'm not wearing right now. Anyway, I figured since I'm talking, I might as well plug my own crap. Nice stuff. Sorry. So yeah, those caps, t-shirts, and both male and female friendly t-shirts. And oh yeah, Chris Nealon, he was one of the people that bought the t-shirt, and he posted a picture on Facebook saying that I brought Charles with me to Hawaii. He was wearing a Scroll On t-shirt in Hawaii. That's so cool. And Dennis Goodson loves the hat. And I finally got to meet Dennis Goodson. I have yet to meet Brian Gidney because he lives probably not too far from you, Wes. You're in Albany. I believe he's in Mission, aren't you, Brian? And Ron and Brian are two of my oldest friends in here. Go ahead. Were you ready to say something, Wes? Oh, I guess not. Pablo was asking, first question about scroll saw are formulated to Charles, and he guided me in this art. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. I misread that. I thought it was a question. Oh, you were saying you asked me questions in the beginning. And thank you very much, Pablo. I'm glad I can help. I can even help one person, and I know everybody on this panel can help because Rick owns dang near every tool out there. He can probably tell you a couple things about them. Oh, Brian Gidney is now in Mercedes, Texas. Is that anywhere near you, Wes? Is Wes with us? Oh, he's not sitting in front of his.
I thought Mercedes was out of Germany.
What about Germany?
I thought Mercedes was out of Germany.
Perhaps. I don't know. There's a Paris, Texas. So, I mean, you just never know. Jeff Robinson's asking, Brian, how many do you have in the birdhouse build so far? Brian Gidney is doing Brian Lee, I don't mean to push this on you at the last second, but Brian Gidney is doing a birdhouse challenge. Do you have any issue? I shouldn't ask you this live on the air, but do you have any issue with him jumping on the panel long enough to talk about the birdhouse challenge unless it's over, Brian? I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up because I've been busy.
He says he's got 5 entries at the moment.
You can come on.
I wasn't sure if the contest had already ended. Brian, I will send you a link to the panel on Facebook.
I know David Jones has still got his plywood challenge going on at the moment of Portal Woodworks.
Very good. Good about that. Go ahead. You want to give folks whatchamacallit?
Let me quickly type in the URL and see if I can find his website.
Hey, Brian, I don't know how many profiles. Sorry.
I think it's portalwoodworks.com, but let me just double check.
Yeah, David Jones of Portal Woodworks. He's doing the plywood challenge.
Yeah, it's basically you can use up to a sheet of plywood to make something. Yeah, portalwoodworks.com.
And I'm sorry I forgot to mention that. Also, Jamie is co-host on Mad Maker Show on Tuesday nights. What time is that? Central Time or Eastern?
Eastern Time, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay, Brian now has the. God, I haven't seen Brian or Ron in a hangout. God knows how long. Sorry, I'm multitasking, and that's not my strong suit. Did I interrupt you, Jamie?
No, mate, no. I think Brian just said it ends July 22nd.
It ends or starts July 22nd?
Ends.
Right. Oh, I guess, yeah, he's already got 5 entries. Brian, are you able to come on the panel?
Yeah, I think he's on his way, isn't he?
Katie Dodson says, Ken Mood made an awesome birdhouse. It's going to be so hard to beat. I have not seen that, so I am terrible at keeping up with it.
I've seen Ken Moon's on. It's real good.
And Lee Knighton did a birdhouse challenge in the magazine last summer. What was a beehive? All right. Have I interrupted anybody? I'm multitasking so much I tend to not hear. Sorry if I interrupted you, Jamie. I know you've been coughing a couple times.
No, it's fine. Sorry, I was talking while you were interrupting.
You funny right there. I tell you what. I'm glad we got to meet, man, because the odds of you and I getting to meet or see each other anymore is so slim because of costs and location.
Don't be so sure.
Oh, God. I'm kidding. Lee, since it's your show, you don't have to type in the chat. You can actually tell me to shut up and talk.
Nope, I was just watching the chat. So
Brian Gidney has joined us. Brian, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you on social media and all them other stuff?
No.
Okay, well, it was nice having you.
They can find me at YouTube, Summers Woodworking, or you can find me at summerswoodworking.co.
Oh, I did that. You're sort of hidden behind the thumbnails. I don't know if that matters to you or not. Did you?
hang on, we gotta make them louder.
And a little bit louder, I guess. Do you want to throw any details out about the Birdhouse Challenge?
Ah.
Just like
yeah,
your
it's almost
fifth or
over.
sixth year doing it?
What's that?
Is this like your fifth or sixth year of doing that Birdhouse Challenge, or
Sixth year.
six
And
years?
it's almost over, so we got
Yeah,
5
can have it.
entries.
Okay, we have 3 days before it's over.
Yeah. And
Okay.
a lot of the people have been submitting, well, they've been doing the videos, but not submitting me the link to their video. So I've had to catch it in my feed in order to find out about it.
Oh, yeah. So make sure you make sure you get Brian Gidney the link and work pretty quick because you have 3 days. The 22nd of July would be the cutoff, or unless
Yeah,
Brian gets a
Pacific
mad
time.
rush, he might say, "Well, let's go to July 22nd of next year." I'm just kidding.
No, I'm keeping the date, the 22nd.
Very good seeing you there, Brian. How's your wife doing?
She's doing great. Thanks for asking.
No problem. It's great to hear. On a personal note, my dad's still doing pretty decent too. I know
That's good.
you got a lot better for your wife, but I won't go into detail because I don't know what's private, what's not. Donna froze. I guess she's back. I don't know if she's back or not. Yes,
She's back. And now we lost Charles. Oh no.
Katie has a question. She want to know why aren't the birdhouse challenge done so the houses can be ready in early spring or late winter for the little birds?
What now?
The birdhouse challenge is in July. Why isn't
Right.
it done to where they can be completed and be put out in early spring for the
Well,
little
I did have it in the fall because that way they're ready for spring next year. But most people they don't get out of the snow until end of May, and you know, June I was planning on doing it in June, but you know I've been tied up, so I don't know. I did it late June, you know, middle of July, so I
Just
don't know.
say because that's when I want to do it.
okay. Then I guess you saw Katie's comment. I was Xing out of too many things so I wouldn't get distracted and X too many X's.
Yeah, I'd like to do the challenges sooner, but you know, sometimes people they're like, oh, it's still winter here and blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah.
that and in Brian's defense, partially. I mean, not that he didn't already defend himself, but there's also more than one challenge going on every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't want to overstep their boundaries.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
some
I
people.
kind of overstepped Russ's whirligig wars, but
Well, it's 2 separate challenges. I mean, I'm sure anybody with a shred of maturity can understand that sometimes things overlap.
yeah, 2x4 challenge is going to be in September. And usually I have the 2x4 challenge before the birdhouse challenge, but this year I'm swapping it, so I'm just trying to make things more convenient for people.
And that's awesome. Yeah, Brian's been doing that for about 6 years. He's on his personal channel. I don't know if he still does it. He can correct me. He does tool reviews and every now and then projects. But I know for a while there he was working on a new shop and then they moved and where we're at.
And then I got another new shop and I just got electricity put in it. And
These first world problems, huh?
trying to get all these reviews done so I can start making projects myself again.
My golly, I don't know. Well, I know on Rick's website he has one called Scroll Saws. Is it plural or singular? Rick, you're muted.
It's scrollsaws.com.
Okay, so it's Scroll Saws plural, and he has videos of turning all kinds of. He has all kinds of videos. So for he probably didn't mention that earlier, but yeah, that's a few things I picked up by watching his videos. Brian has done that. I think Don has done a couple videos. Jamie has done a couple videos. I'm kidding, quite a few. He does turning and
Only
scrolling.
a couple. Only a couple.
My God. Well, you're a newbie.
Yeah, I'm very much a newbie.
Yeah, and Wes, I believe he told us earlier he just got YouTube.
Working on getting the YouTube set up. Here.
Okay, do you have a name for
Anybody
it?
would like to donate a link?
A scroll saw and turning.
Oh, nice. Okay. Lee, is the camera on Jamie, or is it voice reactive or voice activated?
Jamie, you're just a show off.
Yeah, that looks to be the. Well, I need to stop talking. Oh, Lee, if you can hear me, can you put the camera on him while I'm talking so that me talking doesn't overdo it?
It's on Jamie.
Okay. Yeah. So that's from
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. That is milliput, you said?
Yeah.
It's like a clay, for lack of a better word, that hardens, and you can turn it.
It's an epoxy putty.
And they're proud of their prices, but it's good stuff. I've seen people turning. Let's see if I missed anything. Jim was asking how Beth is doing, and Brian answered that she's doing great. That's good to hear. She's a sweetheart. Katie already addressed that. I'm just trying to catch up. And Ron Buchanan says, I'm here. Katie Dawson says, wow, Jamie. Donna here on the panel says, I saw my first hummingbird this year yesterday. So put the feeders out. And Jim Brashears also says, nice. And unless it's frozen, we're caught up, baby. And Brian looks all sinister on his camera. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to look at the stupid phone.
I keep having people ask me if I'm ever going to do my show again. And I know I told Rick I'm kind of like the Garth Brooks of doing live shows, not because I'm popular, but because I'm one of these people that retires from doing shows and comes back, retires, comes back. But it's usually because people
quit doing your show again.
Well, yeah, but it's been a while. In my defense, it's not because I'm pouting about competition. It is 100% because I dry up on ideas. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing, even though everybody does it a little bit differently. I don't want to be that guy that looks like I'm hanging on coattails or struggling every week to think of what to do.
Oh,
and
Charlie,
that's why the lead doesn't do a weekly
Charlie,
show, because it's hard to think of stuff. Go ahead.
I told you out in your shop, all you got to do is look around. You'll pop an idea in your head and you'll know what to talk about. That's all you got to do.
If there's nothing else, one compliment I can give Russ Clarity, he can turn sandpaper into a 2-hour show and make it work. I don't know how the heck he does it. I cannot do that. I mean, I cannot. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I don't want to bore people. I don't want to. Not that I haven't bored them anyway. But if you're looking for a sense of humor and funny looking and interactive, I'm your guy. But as far as a dependable, interesting topic every week, I've tried. I'm not doubting myself. I just can't think of nothing. And Eloy Escojedo, which is the owner and main host of the show, Jamie co-host on Mad Maker's show, is very good at finding. Well, him and Jamie both are good at finding people to have on the show. So luckily, it's kept going. And I believe their last show was Sterling Davis. Or that or Justin Christensen, the Scroll Saw Scribbler, very big on Instagram.
Sterling was the last one we had on.
Yeah, the one before that was Justin Christensen, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the world's got a show now.
Yeah, Scroll Saw Scribbler has 11,000 something followers on Instagram. I just broke 1,000, so I'm a little tickled.
I've got
Jamie's his co-host. You've got what? 2 shows?
Yeah, I've got a podcast as well.
Oh yeah, he does the Internet Makers International podcast. If you're interested, that's every Sunday. What time?
4:30 Eastern Standard.
4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central, and also has it depends on who's able to make it. Usually, or at least used to be Joe Whitaker, Alan Robinson, but I think those are.
Alan is taking a break at the time being, so we've replaced him with Jason McGinn at the time being. It's Chris Cute, me, Joe Whitaker, and Richard Morley
And I know Doc fills in every now and then on
on the Mad Maker. Yeah.
the Maker show, and all those are great people. Sorry, I'm trying to cover everything. Once I'm told to take over, it's never going to end. Anyway, I was always envious of Eloy because back when I was trying to either keep my show going or get a show going, I was trying to get Jamie as my co-host because a lot of people like him, and people like co-hosts, you have better odds. And Jamie is loved in the community except for by only one person I'm aware of. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, so that's where we're at.
So,
Hey, Charles.
Got invited on Charles' channel.
You just say, Brian, what was that, Wes?
I said that explains how I got in on your channel. You just used me.
I'm just using you for your looks, baby. I'm getting worse. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. What was that, Brian?
I'll
Getting-
let-
Don't wink at me in public.
Later, Charles.
What about later?
I said, me and you's got to talk later.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Speaking of that, reminds me, we haven't seen Shannon Burr going forever. He used to be your backup host on your show.
We don't talk much. I don't know why, but we don't talk much.
Yeah, he's a good fella. I've talked to him forever. Every now and then he'll throw out something just to keep you on your toes. Okay, Donna doesn't have a show. I'm not pointing out. I'm going down the panel to make sure I haven't missed anybody that has a show. Lee has a show every now and then. Y'all might catch it sometimes. Like me, picking a day of the week at a time is not easy because either busy or can't think of crap. That's my excuse. Mostly can't think of crap. And
that's okay. Jim Brashear said, sometimes it's not about the content, Charles. It's about the community.
Yeah.
Well, amen to that. I mean, the community is what makes the shows worth it. But that's one thing I love about it. It sounds like I'm sucking up because I am. The audience that goes around to these different shows is awesome because, I mean, they are what makes it worth it. And I know Jamie can back me up on that. They get a whole bunch of people in their chats, but the chat feeds the show, if nothing else. I mean, if the show's dwindling and the chat gets going, dang it. And every time I'm helping Lee out and I end up taking over because I've spent so long doing a show that it was in my mindset, I don't want dead air. And that's not me judging Lee. It means that's why I would always babble. And it's just me. Sorry, Lee. And I'm always every time I take over, I say I'm sorry.
Ron said we should all do one show and then take turns hosting. That would be interesting.
We'd never get a word in edgeways because Charles wouldn't shut up.
That's true.
Now
Case in point.
Jamie, don't bring logic into this because I will never be right. That is an excellent idea as far as the camaraderie. I mean, every now and then.
We know when you're lying, Charles, because your lips move.
That's funny. You know why every picture of the Earth is blurry? Somebody moved. You can tell that to your third grader. Anyway. All right, let's all be mean to Charlie since he won't shut up. Go ahead, Wes, since I interrupted.
Let me interrupt you here, right? I got my kiddo, so I'm going to shut it down a little early this evening. And,
Okay, well.
Good night.
All right,
Actually,
thank you.
Thanks for
All of you that I will see in Iowa, and Lee, thanks for having me on your show this evening. It is
Sure, come back anytime.
We will.
Thank you, Wesley.
You tell them youngers how it is, all right?
Oh, we'll do that, Charles.
All
Good
right,
night.
Take it
Good
easy,
night.
man.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
All right,
everybody.
we have Mike Bennett Sr. just joined the chat. Sorry to cut you off, Wes. I'm just, that's what I do. And be nice, Jamie. I have feelings. He probably just rolled his eyes at me. Dennis Gibson says, it's always good to know and hear what others with common interests are doing. Good point. Donna says, I throw everything on the floor when I have a couple flat surfaces. Mike Bennett Sr. just joined us, said, wow, when did this show come back? Great, man. See, Lee? See? Me and you both getting in trouble for not having consistent shows. And everybody's saying have a good trip. So, back to you, Lee. Unless you want me to babble, it'll be hard because I don't usually talk much.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us. And Mike Bennett. Yeah, he said something about how the chat or the show's back. Yeah, well, it is back. I tried to do a show every week, and like Charles says, it's very hard to come up with original content on a weekly show. So
But
I try, but it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, for everybody. What's everybody's personal preference when it comes to colouring a backer board?
can I answer for everybody? I'm just kidding. I like to let them answer first.
Because the reason I ask is I've seen people use spray paints, acrylic paints, even like a coloured vinyl, sticky sticky vinyl, if you like.
I
So I just
I
wonder
don't know.
what.
Sorry.
I've done
Yeah,
like
about
construction
felt paper?
Charles,
I was
when you
laughing.
talk,
I was laughing because everybody answered at once. I never interrupt people. That's weird. Well, let me go left to right. Brian, what were you saying?
Felt paper.
Felt paper, which is actually felt or paper. And very nice blue eyes there, Brian. Okay.
Yeah, I
Donna,
can't see
Donna,
through these stupid bifocals, man.
oh,
So
I know. I didn't know Coke bottle contacts existed until I got some. Got a nice.
Oh, yeah?
Donna, when you do scroll, what do you back it with? Paint? I mean, paint, paper, or how do you paint if you do paint?
Sometimes I do paint on it. Depends on what I'm working on. Sometimes you have the backer boards where you already had your colors. But if it's something big, then usually just an 1/8 piece of plywood and spray paint it.
All right. Yeah, I do spray paint too because I hate waiting on stuff to dry and brush marks and stuff like that. Thank you for answering. And Brian, you got a little clinger on. I'm just kidding. I just making fun of the fact that you're looking up at your nose. I didn't look.
Yeah.
Jamie,
That better? Is that a better view?
that's nice. That's nice. Jamie, what do you do since you brought up the
yeah, basically just spray paint. I mean, I'll go to our version of the dollar store and just it's basically automotive, black paint. You know, so it's not even anything expensive. So, but it just dries real quick.
very good to know.
So
Jim was saying, okay, Brian is creeping me out. That's funny. Jeff Robinson, 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch Baltic birch plywood is his favorite backer. Jeff, if you paint it, how do you paint it? Brush or roller or spray? Chris Neal, and now to clean off the Seiko. Boom. I love that Seiko. I love that Seiko. I am not sponsored by them. I wish I was, but I love them right to death. And I love the saw. Great table, great, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And Dennis Gibson says, use construction paper from Michael's last project. Some people use construction paper. Felt is very common, but I had a guy in a store that wouldn't take my work because it was backed in felt. So right then I was told, he told me it looked cheap. And that's not my opinion. But that put that mindset in me that I stopped doing that. I started using wood just to have the wood grain back there. But it's better to use the cheapy wood like you see in drawer bottoms or backs of cabinets. I guess it's pronounced Luan or Luan, Luan. That's what I use to back stuff, and I paint it with spray paint because I don't like waiting on brush stuff.
Anybody epoxy fill theirs?
Fill what? The scroll work?
With epoxy, color it in.
I've never done that. Steve Good has some stuff he's done that with, I believe. Is especially keychains. You could do that to make them more whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
I guess we could ask Rick, but I don't know if he remembers the last time he scroll sawed. I don't even know if he remembered he was still on the show, and you're muted.
I usually just use contrasting woods.
Yeah, that's another option. Because when everything looks like wood, obviously. Never mind. If the backer's made of wood, if it's a contrasting wood, you don't have to do anything to it. It looks like wood, smells like wood. Lee, since it's your show, would you like to tell everybody how you back and paint a little bit?
Yeah, well, it depends on what I'm doing. But I said sometimes I use construction paper. Sometimes I use a wood board, and then I just spray paint it the color I want. But I also went to Michael's and bought a pack of paper that has like various shades to it. So there's a brown, but there's like 5 different browns, and then there's like a black, and there's 5 different blacks, grays, whatever. And I just cut that. If I'm making a portrait, I cut that to the portrait size and just put it on the backdrop.
Well,
So
I
I'll
think
use that.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Didn't mean to interrupt. Seriously, I've seen people use photographs, and in the right context, a photograph can work. I mean, you could do black behind the actual piece, and then a photograph, because like if it's a scenery or something, I've seen people use sunset photographs, sky photographs. Some people will use clear, not clear acrylic, but what does it mean when it's colored yet see-through? It's like translucent?
Yeah.
Yeah, or transparent, whatever the case is. It's not clear, but
Parents
like
clear,
what they call sun.
translucent's colored.
Yeah, that too. Okay, sun catcher. It depends on if you want it to be see-through or not. But I generally just use black, and I prefer gloss black. But black is some people's preference. And I believe that answered that question. Is there any more questions out in the chat, Mr. Anybody?
Jeff said he uses lemon oil on the backer of a fun foam backer.
Okay. Maybe, I mean, Ron asked me something, and I'm not sure. Is it because I stepped over my own tongue, or did I miss
That he
something?
said tell him about you can't say it, Charles. Well,
Well, the lull was LOL, as in laugh out loud.
yeah.
Lemon oil. Yeah, lemon oil is something I heard about through Steve Good. If nothing else, it doesn't really even necessarily clear coat it. It pops the grain. It makes it stick out real good. Looks like Mike Bennett, if nobody else was, Michael Bennett is a big fan of your show, Lee, so you got to keep doing it, and I guess, I don't know, yeah, so that's what we are. Click is making fun of back when Lee had a mouse that on his laptop that clicked real bad, and it was a long-running joke, and Steve French even bought him a new mouse with batteries, and then he stopped using it, and then he gave up and stopped watching the show, I guess. But that's where the click came from. So yeah, so here we are. That's where we are. So yeah, okay.
What's click? Ron, you should know what click is. You're the one that keeps saying it.
That's why I just explained it 2 seconds ago.
There's actually 2 Rons.
Maybe. Oh, is there a Ron North and a Ron? Okay.
Now, Ron Buchanan is the one with the skull and the star. He's had that profile picture as long as I can
Hang on
remember.
a minute. That Ron Buchanan, that's the one that done all the travelling around, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the original. He was the wood traveler, and he came to see me. Came to see Brian. Came to see Jerry Brown.
That's it.
Quite a few other people. But it's funny. I think the blooper reel from when he was here was funnier than the actual. Not that it has to be funny, but I may be wrong. Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I was your last one, and we never got it aired because it got too dark. But my wife was filming, and she backed over a paving stone. It was just funny. She wasn't hurt, but I was turning purple because she tried to play it off. You see the camera go like this. She's trying to play it off like that didn't just happen, and I can't see something like that and ignore it. Anyway, so that's where we're at. And I think part of Ron's issue was that his vehicle was turned to crap at the time. I don't know what his current situation is. Ron says, I asked Jamie, is it true that England swings like a pendulum do? Okay, I don't even get that.
Bobby's on bicycles, 2
2
by
by 2. I think it's some kind of rhyming thing.
No, Bobby's on bicycles. That basically means the police on bikes. Bobby is a cop.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, police.
Alright, yes.
Yes. Katie Johnson saying, Jim, I don't know what fun foam is either. I think it's that stuff that's, I'm not good at measurements, maybe 1/8 inch or less thick, and it's foamy.
It's foam that's fun.
Yeah, Ron Buchanan came back with his Wood Traveler icon. If y'all want to click on that and go to his profile. Ron, do you Do you mind sharing with people why you stopped doing it? Was it vehicle issues or not enough following or both or what? And yes, Ron's done quite a few interviews. I think I was his last one. I might have been his reason for retiring. I ain't doing this crap anymore. But we both wish him well out of the landscape in Denver. That was cool, if nothing else. We got to meet, and that was cool. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So, see, this is another thing about shows. I love doing them. I can't shut them off when it's time to, even though it's not my channel.
April Wilkerson was the last one.
Oh, she was the last one?
Looks like it.
I thought
Yeah.
that was way before me. Well,
And,
mine wasn't aired. Mine wasn't aired. That's how bad it was.
Then Drew Short was before that.
Okay, well, I know he interviewed me, Jerry Brown, and Brian, but I don't know if any of those got aired. I know mine didn't get aired because it was too dark and we couldn't make anything out of it. But I think mine was the last one filmed, but if Ron can communicate it, correct us. I mean, Dan broke down, now he has a broken leg. Well, don't break your dang leg, Ron. Was I your last interview that never got aired?
Oh no, I am. Maybe I'm looking at a different channel. Oh no, I am. I'm looking at the right channel.
Yeah, Ron did an interview.
No, yeah, Brian was the last one. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was right around the time of me and Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown's about 30, 45 minutes from me, which goes by Polly Wants a Crafter. Brian, I think they had one where a jogger ran by or something. There was some kind of distraction in the background. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, between my wife falling over the paper stone and it getting dark, I think ours just went to poop. But I don't know. But I know his van broke down and he used that to travel. I would love to have a freaking RV. Anyway, that's just totally aside. But I've wanted one all my life, and I'm probably more likely to travel if I had one. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, so let's see if there's anything going on. Go ahead, whoever was talking.
That was me. So, Michael Bennett, if you haven't already, go back and subscribe, and you can check out the last 27 episodes or 26 episodes that are up there if you haven't watched them all.
Nice.
I think most of them have Charles on them, but there's some that have Bruce Worthington and Steve Good was on here. There's one that Rick was on, and he did cutting fundamentals on that one.
The ones where I'm on it were last resorts.
There's some where some other people are on there, which we won't mention.
Oh, yeah, butt monkeys. Now, Ron, you said
Nuggets.
Yeah, you said Drew, Jerry, Charlie didn't air, Brian, and Wonky. I guess you were just affirming what you've already done. April Wilkerson, the Roadside Attraction, I remember that one as well. Yeah, he saw some neat sights. I believe when he went to see Brian, he also stopped by some Roswell, New Mexico, because Brian was living in New Mexico at the time, I believe.
Yeah, he did some stop by a chainsaw carver.
Oh yeah, and I remember he looked at some Roswell stuff too. Anyway, yeah, it's like all the old school people aren't making as productive. When I first got into YouTube, I'm gonna do everything I can to be the next big thing, be the go-to scroller, this and that, and I just couldn't do nothing. And Jim was saying, Ron, you should do her shop now, meaning April Wilkerson. Mike Bennett Sr. says, yes, I'll do that for sure. Awesome. Old Army base, Ron says. Wood Traveler is Ron. Anybody in the chat or Lee or anybody on the panel want to talk about anything? I don't want dead air.
There's also another version of this show that I do called Designer's Chat, which I talk all about designing, mostly in GIMP. That's the program I used. So if you haven't watched those yet, anybody, you can go back and check those out as well. There's an 8-part series on making a GTO, which it
didn't intend to be, ain't it?
It took 8 separate ones to make it. So there's 8 episodes of that one.
He didn't intend on it being that long. Or that.
No, I didn't. That's just how it worked out.
As to whether or not I will ever do a show again, sorry if I interrupted you, Lee. Let me know if I did. It will depend on the feedback. Not the feedback, because I know a few people want me to. Some people may not. Depends on what the format is, and without stepping on other shows, blah, blah, blah. I can't say I will or I won't, but if I do, I'll post it all over social media. I might even talk about it on YouTube.
Danny Jones, SAW EXPO 2020 details are not up there just yet because we're still working it out. But it will be, what did I say were the dates? It's in June. Give me a second. I got to pull up the right folder.
I feel bad for that too because he asked that earlier and I forgot to answer or forgot to get your attention on it.
June 12th and 13th, 2020 here in Ohio. It's going to be in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And then the place we're having it at is the Adminos Expo Center. Adminos. Cuyahoga Falls. Says it'll get closer. We'll put more details up there. But for right now, the dates you want to mark down is the 12th and 13th.
Laughing because Donna and Brian both yawned at the same time.
Of June.
Yeah, June 12th. June 12th is my birthday, so I'll remember that. Is Jamie still with us?
Oh, we get to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
Diddly. All right.
Yeah, diddly.
Diddly do. And I would love to have a. Well, I mean, y'all seen the shows where I would try little bitty panels and full panels. The full panels are fun, and Brian's being mental again. But the full panels can be fun if there's rapport back and forth and camaraderie. Sometimes, and this is not to make fun of myself or anybody else that's ever used a full panel, but sometimes it can be chaotic. And I know anybody that watches knows what I'm talking about. I mean that with respect, especially when one of them won't shut up like me. But I mean, it can be chaotic even with the best of people. And Wes Balco is in the chat now. Dave Hart saying, "Is that the same place your Ohio show was?" Asking Dave
No.
Hart. No, it's not. Well, it is in the same town, Cuyahoga Falls.
Same town, different building.
Different building. Okay. I used to watch Charles Scroll-Sawing his great masterpieces. Thank you so much, Mike Bennett Sr. I still try to make masterpieces. I just don't film as much because I stink. Wood Traveler. Fort Bayard. Not Fort Bayard. Fort Bayard. Oh, Lord. It's like listening to Laffy on a podcast. Is that a dig on me, Jim?
Laffy?
I don't know who Laffy is. But,
Mike Laffy from Maybe I Said Too Much podcast.
What's like listening to him? The babbling?
Yeah, Mike Laffy is hilarious.
Well, I'm not hilarious, so I'm just babbling.
Brian,
First of that, I thought you said Rafi. I was like, that's.
Maybe I said too much. Maybe I said too much.
Watch, I'm sorry.
Maybe I said too much podcast. I have a T-shirt that's got "Don't be a dick" written on it.
Don't be a what?
Don't be a dick.
Oh, already then. Yeah, the babbling. Jim was the only one that was sweet enough or honest enough to tell me yes, the babbling. Not the hilarity, the babbling. Okay, I love you too, Jim. Right, so that's my feelings got hurt, so y'all take over. I can't take no more. All right, Jim. I think you know who your friends are.
That's
right.
all good.
Yeah.
Actually, Jim, were you? Oh, I think he said he turned around before he came to Ohio. Yeah. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the great.
I was yeah. Someone came here and then they were like, "I was at the show and you didn't even say hi to me." But I was like, I was so busy with everything at the show that I couldn't really stop and talk to too many people right when for too long because I had too many things going on.
Okay, cool.
All right.
But I will tell you now that I didn't stop doing my show because of thumbs down, because that was getting funny. I mean, so am I paying to get thumbs downs? Thumbs downs are still activity on your channel. So, by the way, Brian, I muted
Yeah,
you
you
just to be funny.
stopped doing it because there was no fresh topics. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it was nothing to do with the thumbs downs. I thought that was, it spoke for itself. You know, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I can live a day, you know what I'm saying? For real. And number thing, the other day.
So many times you can talk about scroll saw patterns and blades and how to put them in the saw, what the on-off switch is.
Yeah, what the on-off switch. think Brian was looking back to when he did his hanging upside down thing when John Schaffner had his webcam upside down. Came back from repair place that way. That was kind of funny.
Oh, you were there, Jim? Okay. Sorry, man. I see that whole weekend, man. It went like this.
So that was the show where you were walking around with a camera and people were looking at you like you were weird.
Yeah, there was like half my Scroll Cell Club didn't show up when they were supposed to show up. But guess who had to do everything for the week?
Sweet.
Yeah, guess what I did the next day?
Replaced.
I sent some nice emails to my Scroll Cell Club. Nothing new over there.
Well, I'm at least acknowledging that I talk a lot and babble because I like to keep the activity going, even if it's against me. But it's activity.
Yeah. No, you don't. It's fine.
Oh, I do. Trust me. Everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat knows.
That's what keeps it entertaining, though. Like they don't want to sit here and go have just plain off air where no one's talking.
Well, entertaining is an opinion thing. I don't know if everybody would agree with you, but I appreciate that you're okay with it. Somehow we managed to make the show go 2 hours. We must have done something right. A lot of people are really, 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 really bored.
Yes.
Because I'm here, it's entertaining.
Oh, there you go, Jamie. Just let the rest of us talk. My God, I'm just kidding.
You got to have a YouTube sensation in there. That's what it is.
I'm a sensation. Not all sensations are good. Anyway.
Family-friendly show now.
I know. I wasn't going to get graphic. I'm kind of like a hemorrhoidal sensation. Well,
We'll have to put you in mute.
Put me in
We'll have to
mute.
put you on mute for 5 seconds.
If I mute, there's too much dead air. Really bored or married, says Dave Hart. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take over your own show now, and I'll see how long I can shut up.
Okay, then. You're making me laugh too hard, dude. All right. Well, let's see. It's 10:30. Does anybody else have anything before we sign off for the evening?
No.
Actually,
12
Charles.
seconds.
I was laughing because Jamie was counting.
Hey, actually, Charles, have you watched that new Gordon Ramsay show? 24
No,
hours
no.
to Monday.
No, I can only take so much.
He talks funny.
Well, the one episode he was just on, he actually wasn't in a disguise. He had a hat and a beard that looked just like you. He looked just like you in the show. I
Like
said,
me?
Charles, in the show. Yeah,
And the
you gotta
show's
check it
still
out.
in there?
Latest episode. Yeah. He went in disguise. He disguised himself with a hat and a beard. He looked just like you when he had it on.
Well, it's
I'm like,
nicer
Charles
than
is-
Gordon Ramsay. I'm
Check it
just as
out.
honest as he is, but I'm nice about it.
He looked just like you with the beard. It was pretty funny.
Oh, that poor man.
I went, Charles, I didn't know you were in it.
Katie Dawson says, I got to cut out. Y'all take care. Good to see everyone. Love you, Katie. Good to talk to you again. Ron says, take care. ROFL. Jamie. Bye, Katie. Says Dennis.
Take it easy.
Yes. Bye, Katie Dotson. Thanks for coming out on the show and chatting with us.
Yay. Okay, Ron says this account has all my videos on it, so if you click on the one that just says Ron, that's him. That's where you can find all his videos.
I'm confused. Is that Ron or Ron's mother, Ron?
The other
I thought
Ron.
they were.
That's the same. That's not Ron Chat Nugget. That is Ron Buchanan, also the Wood Traveler. He came on under his other one to show us it's the same guy, Ron Buchanan.
And not Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
That's a different Ron.
It was Ron Jeremy. He'd
Very
have the
different Ron.
Burn RV and a traveling show.
All right, guys. Well, who thinks we should end it? I think we're out of topics anyway.
I don't think it ever started, did it?
Oh, did it?
All right, let's end it. Everyone's leaving anyway.
All
All right, guys. Thank you to everyone who came on tonight. Charles Daring for co-hosting as usual. Donna Presley, thank you, ma'am. Jamie, Rick, and Brian, thank you guys for being
Thanks,
on
Lee,
tonight.
for having me.
Wesley already cut out, but Wesley Balco, thank you, sir, for being on tonight. For those of you that are coming to Iowa, we'll see you up in Iowa. I'll be there. Just to go through that one more time. I'll be there. Rick will be there. Charles will be there. And Wesley will be there. And who else? Steve Good will be there.
August 2nd and 3rd. Bearwood Supply will be there. Annalise and Stephen Danison.
2nd and 3rd. I will be there with a booth for Wood and Wonders Workshop and part of the PS Wood Machines booth because they sell my patterns. So we'll be in the booth together. And you guys can come check it out and check if you guys want a CD. One of these or one of the ones I showed you tonight, go over to my website or I'll have them at the show. So that's an option too. And I just want to say good night to everybody over on the chat real quick. Ron, both Rons because they were both here. Both Rons, Ron and Ron. Jim Shears, Dave Hart, thank you, sir. Katie Dotson, she already checked out, but for Katie, you see anybody? Who else was over here, Charles?
Michael Bennett.
I already said thank you to Jamie because he's on the panel. So anyway, if we missed you on the chat, thank you very much,
Michael
everybody.
Bennett, somebody else. Sorry.
Everybody that was on the chat, let's just say it that way. Everybody that's on the chat, thank you very much. Everybody on the panel, thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it won't be long till the next show. And till then, guys,
Smell my finger.
click on.
Roll on.
Click on.
Bye.